records. Over the past decade, they've been the #1 concert draw in the entire continent. Now they got a documentary, Some Kind of Monster it's called, an incredibly candid look inside the world of a rock and roll band. Please welcome Metallica's Lars Ulrich and James Hetfield. Lars and James.
Hello. All right.
Good seeing you, man.
Hi, brother.
All right, then.
All right, then.
Damn.
90 million?
That's and counting,
It must
right?
be more. It must be more by now. I think that was last week.
So you're living legends and you still kick ass. That's not bad, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
Just like you.
God,
Like you. All right.
keep going.
How was that?
Tell, I mean, I know a lot of people know this, but some people don't, how this all started, because I know it was the two of you that kicked this whole Metallica nuttiness off 20, 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Give us a quick little
History of
Metallica.
Well, it's been, like I say, 23 years. I came over from Denmark. You know my dad. Grew
His
up in
dad is Torben Ulrich, by the way, who's the first hippie of tennis. The first hippie of tennis. And, do we have a picture of Torben, by any chance?
It's
We got
coming.
some. We got it. It's coming. Quick.
There you
Yeah.
There's Pops. All right.
And he's lefty.
He's absolute lefty.
All right, now, and you went to Balotelli's, which is like the tennis, where all the tennis
Prison.
players. Prison is.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, camp.
Sharapova, who won Wimbledon, went there, the latest one. But go ahead. Then,
I grew up on the tennis circuit, and so the idea was for me to come over and kind of play tennis in Los Angeles after I finished school.
oh, there it is.
Who's she?
You guys are really digging in here. To come and play tennis in Los Angeles after I finished school in Denmark, and that lasted about half an hour, and I got kind of bored with that, and then I wanted to form a rock and roll band. And so I put an ad in the Recycler, which is kind of the sort of 7-Eleven kind of buy used cars and musicians looking for other musicians and all that type of stuff. And then me and James met up, and 23 years
Buy
later,
a used musician.
And 23 years later, we're on your talk show.
Second day.
There you go.
Yes.
That was the short version.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, James, you didn't come from a sports background. Is that a correct assumption? You're a big guy, actually. You're bigger than people. You're about what? 6'2" or 6?
I loved sports growing up. Huge Oakland Raider fan, even though I grew up in LA. But anyway, I played football for one season in high school, and then I discovered music. My hair got long. It went past the helmet, so I had to make a big life choice at that point.
I think
Music, football, and I chose football, and no, I chose music, and I'm very grateful.
How does it feel, for example, that when this whole thing in Iraq for this war, and I swear to God, you hear these soldiers, half of them or more, they're playing before they go out to go out in the battlefield. They say they're playing Metallica music. I mean, how does that make you feel?
I mean, we hear that a lot also with a lot of sports teams and stuff like that they warm up and do all their thing to Metallica. It's awesome. And look, anybody that gets anything out of what we do is obviously a great thing. We don't think so much when we make the music about how people are going to react to it. We just try and kind of do our thing with it, and then you sort of let it go, and then people can kind of take it from there. But I'm proud of anybody who gets off on it.
You know, I used to warm up to your music. Did you know that?
No, you've never told me that.
Towards the end, no.
The anger thing, You think that could have contributed to some of me getting a little pissed off at some people?
You were such a nice guy. It's our fault, right? But we used to watch footage of you before we record a record.
Touche. All right, hold on. When we come back, more with Lars and James, plus a look at their new movie. Don't go away. Don't go away.
I play drums a lot. I'm okay. music together, I guess I had higher expectations, and I don't know, maybe I'm disappointed in myself. Maybe, I don't know.
Want to talk about that? I mean, what does that mean?
I'm not enjoying being in the room with you playing.
All right, we're back with Metallica's Lars Ulrich and James Hetfield. Now, this movie, this is, I mean, first of all, it's a great movie. I mean, I highly recommend people go see it, but obviously the Metallica fans are going to check this out, right? I mean, are you looking to make, go for the really big, you're not big enough yet, I guess. You sold 100 million records.
Right, when we get to the 100
Or the
million.
more important question, why in the hell did you do this? When people see this, they'll know why, because you really open yourself up here, big time.
Pure insanity, I think. And I think we didn't think, the thing just happened. And the cameras were there. We started going through traumatic things in our lives. What a great gift that was to have cameras rolling during huge parts in your life. Not many people get that. And we get to learn a lot about ourselves from that. And why not put that out? Why not show the other extreme of Metallica? They've seen the mighty, staunch Metallica, save the world or whatever it is. This is the...
Destroy it.
Destroy the world, yeah.
Destroy the world by saving it, yeah. And this is the other side. This is the broken, lost,
Let's show
confused.
a clip first so some people get an idea. We got a couple clips. Let's show this first one.
I mean, we're in moods and we're not going to get anything
All you want to
done
do is
here
pick
today.
a fight, and
I don't want to pick a fight.
this is so silly. You're just sitting there going, I'm in a really pissy mood, and
And I fucking told you straight up that I was.
Right.
And what are you trying to do?
I'm not trying to do You're just sitting here being a complete dick.
You're...
Why don't we recreate that?
That's a normal day at my house. But it didn't look like you guys were getting along too well at that point. I think that's pretty early on in the movie. And James, I mean, obviously we can reveal this. You left about 3-4 months into this filming and went to rehab for, I believe, over a year. Tell us about that.
Well,
Because Lars didn't look too happy about it.
Well,
Lars wasn't too happy.
Right. Well, there was certainly a point where, I was desperate enough that I had to go away and take care of stuff. I had gotten thrown out of the house at home. My behavior from the road came home, and it started to disintegrate my family. And my wife, the strong woman that she was, she stood up, threw me out of the house, and said, "Get some help." And that scared me enough. And the band wasn't going well. Everything, it felt like the rug was pulled out from under me, and everything that I had solid in my life was no longer there. I knew I had to do something, and rehab stripped me down to the soul and built me back up. And as you said, yeah, I know there were some difficult times for these guys, and it must have been tough that, a path that I was taking for myself of complete uncertainty involved their future too.
I think we have a clip relating to that very thing. So let's move to this next one.
We haven't really worked together for almost 9 months. When we were talking a couple of days ago about whether, if we wanted to do this film or not, I was wondering if having these guys in here would affect that. Because there's an intimacy that you get when it's just a few people in the room, and I'm just wondering if that's going to get lost, if we're going to go back to sort of battling each other and trying to be all strong and...
What intimacy? What the you talking about?
So you guys considered yourself, obviously we're close, but there was you were growing apart like a marriage, so to speak,
Yeah,
right?
but-
Who was that guy? That guy, that was Phil, I think his name. He's
Phil, yeah.
the therapist, or I guess you call it coach therapist you brought in to try to help things out?
He's
the ref.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time with working actually with sports teams and kind of getting everybody on a sports team to kind of get along, to be in sync and all that type of stuff. And so when we realized after 20 years that we really didn't know, it's just pretty evident how to communicate and how to sort of respect each other and kind of all that stuff, it was just tearing us apart. He came in and helped us learn all that stuff for the first time. And we kind of realized after a while that we barely knew each other, even though...
Is that true? You actually barely knew each other?
I think it's pretty true.
That's a pretty heavy thing to say, right?
Well, we knew each other enough to get along. And I think we were afraid to get to know each other more and investigate why we are who we are. And now we know too much. No?
You're still clean? You're still clean and sober?
I took a shower this morning. Yeah. 3 years this month.
This guy, yeah, I'm telling you, from being around him for the last 3 years, he's the poster child for that whole thing working. I'm so proud of him.
What's your status as far as that goes?
I'm the poster child for living my life the way I choose to live it on a day-to-day basis.
He's before.
He's still doing the Metallica thing.
Somebody's got to hold it.
I have one bone to pick with you though, because during that movie, I noticed that at one point you sold some art.
Yes, I did.
At Christie's and made, I'm not even going to tell you how many millions you made, but if you go see the movie, you'll see this guy made a ton of money. And do you
feel that you're not credited enough for introducing me to Jean-Michel Basquiat, or is that where this
you
is
read
going?
right through me?
Okay, is that what every time I see John, it's always within a couple beers times, it always comes up that I never give you enough credit for introducing me to Jean-Michel Basquiat. So I'll do it right now, John.
You made millions.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Little compensation.
Tomorrow night will be on me. Okay?
What is it,
tomorrow
like 50% or what is it? So you guys are still in the midst of a tour, right? I mean, you just finished the tour in Europe. Tell us.
We just came back from Iceland. We were 6 weeks in Europe, ended up in Iceland 3 days ago, came over here 2 days ago doing this for a couple days about this movie. And then we go back on the road and keep going in America till Thanksgiving.
I got a question for you, James. Did you ever, because this is an inside question, I guess, since I've seen it, but have you ever talked with Dave, the original guitar players? Because Lars met with, is Dave Mustaine, right?
Yeah.
Have you met, because he looked pretty upset about it. I mean, hopefully people will see this and, tell me what your status is with him, because that seemed very heavy. That
was a heavy scene. I was away in rehab at that point. And, coming together and talking with Dave, I'm sure will happen at one point. I certainly wasn't ready then. We share a lot. We share a lot of struggles. And it was evident in that scene. So, he still struggles with stuff. And I'd love to get together and talk with him about that for sure.
Can I thank you guys a lot for coming to my second show? I
Yes,
really
honor, man.
appreciate
Thank you.
that. All right. Lars and James from Metallica. We're going to eat at a very expensive restaurant tomorrow. When we come back, Ralph Nader, but first this.